Welcome to the High Point Public Library. I'm Miss Martha, and I'm joined today by Max and George. And we're going to do the first in a Yoga Videos from Home series. This is a continuation of the yoga program that I do on Monday mornings at 10 o'clock. It's something that I normally do for preschoolers, but you could do this from home with your preschool or school-aged kids. We can't wait until we can start having programs like we used to after all this is over, but until then, let's go ahead and get started. Behind me, I have a very neat art installation that local artist Elizabeth Caddy made. It's a project that once we open again, you can come in and ask us questions about. It's going to be a very neat thing, and she's going to keep adding to it. So stay tuned for that. Alrighty, now that you've found a comfortable place to sit down and you've cleared everything else around you, let's go on ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about, you can answer this question to the people around you, or if you'd like, you can answer in the comments on this video. How do you know when spring is coming? So that is our share prompt for today. How do you know when spring is coming? So that's something you can think about. So we're just going to start out our practice today with a couple of simple breaths. Breaths are really important. They help your whole body function and be healthy. So we're just going to take a few minutes and take some big, deep breaths in. So think about breathing in through your nose and letting your breath out through your mouth. So let's just close our eyes and take 3 big, deep breaths. See if you can feel your belly moving when you take your breaths. So let's try that now. Good job. So I'm going to walk you through a yoga flow. A yoga flow is when you have a couple of yoga poses and you put them together and you move from pose to pose. So we're going to do a couple of different poses. These might be poses that you've done before. If you're not sure how to do them, it's okay. Just do something that feels good for you. You can follow along with me. All right? And if something doesn't feel good, you can just make it your own and do whatever feels good for you. Okay? So let's get started. So we're going to come up into a standing position, and we're going to do star pose. So star pose, we're going to spread our feet out a little bit. We're going to lift our arms up. Let's see how tall we can make ourselves. So this is called star pose because we have 5 points, like on a star. So let's count them together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 points just like you have on a star. So see how big and wide you can make yourself. See how much you can stretch your arms. See how tall you can make your head. And see if you can spread your legs apart and make yourself into a big star. Okay? Good job. So we're going to come from that into moonflowers. Moonflowers, we're going to bend our arms and we're going to bend our legs. So we're going to do 5 moonflowers. So we're reaching up big and tall, and then we're bending our legs coming down. Okay, so let's do 5 together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you start to feel the muscles in your legs starting to get warm? That means that your muscles are working really hard. So, we're going to come forward into a forward fold where we bend over. You don't have to worry about making sure that your knees aren't bent. You can bend your knees for this, but the main thing is you want to touch your toes. So let's try it. Good, and let's come back down into a forward fold again. This time we're going to use our imagination and think about a chair right behind us, and we're going to sit back into that chair for a chair pose. So see if you can bend your knees. Imagine you're sitting back into a chair, but you're holding yourself up. All right, let me show you that from the side. So you're bending your knees and coming back up. Let's do one more chair pose. Can you feel the muscles in the bottom part of your leg starting to get warm? That means you're doing the right thing. All right, so we're going to come down to the mat. And we're going to do a pose that you may have done before. A lot of people really love this pose. This is butterfly pose. So imagine you're a butterfly. Your wings are flapping in the wind. Okay? So you can stay here in butterfly pose. This is a really great one for stretching out your legs. But if you want something a little bit harder and you want to challenge yourself, what you can do is see if you can get your feet up off the mat. And you might fall over, and that's okay. Just give it a try. Okay? So we'll come back down to butterfly pose, flap our wings like a butterfly, and then we'll come back up into flower. This is called flower pose. Good. And in flower pose, you might feel the muscles in your belly start to get warm. And those are called your ab muscles. And it's really important to keep those nice and strong. All right, well, we're going to play a game where we're going to be kind of silly. We're going to be all kinds of different animals. And later, we're going to read a story where we're going to act out our breath. So we're going to think about all the different types of breath we can make. Let me read you some examples. For our story today, we're going to howl, growl, snore, squeak, slurp, burp, sniff, chomp, sneeze, gnarl, snarl, roar, growl, grumble, whimper, moan, groan, glurp, and gobble. So start to think about what all of those sounds might be and how you can make your breath do all of those different sounds. But first, we're going to be silly and be some different kinds of animals. So think about all the animals that I'm about to say, and we're going to move around like these animals. Okay? So, you can move around the room. Make sure you don't bump into anybody. You want to pay attention to furniture, and you don't want to damage anything. Okay? So think about your space and make sure that you're moving around in a way that doesn't hurt anybody or anything. But to start off with, let's be a bee. And we can actually stay seated for this one. Bee breath is really cool. You can hear the way that your mouth buzzes. So how it works, and just watch me this time, we're going to make a bee sound, so bzzz. And then while you make a bee sound, see if you can cover up your ears and see what happens. It's going to be really cool. All right, so let's do that together, and we'll come back in just a minute. So, buzz. What happened? Did you hear a buzzing sound inside of your head? It's pretty cool. So, bee pose. So let's start to move around like a bee. Okay? So think about how a bee flies. It flies around really fast, right? So see if you can be a bee and move around the room. Remember to watch out for furniture and friends. Don't bump into anybody. All right? So once you've had a chance to be a bee, let's think about a snake. So come down onto your belly and let's slither like a snake. And what sound does a snake make? So move around, maybe think about moving your spine a little bit. Those are the muscles in your back. Good. So that's cobra pose. All right. The next one you can do in any way you want. We're going to be an eagle. So think about an eagle. What does an eagle move like? Does he have big wings, maybe? Does he balance? Think about flying like an eagle. Okay? So you can move around the room in any way you want, but just pretend that you're an eagle. All right? The next thing is a butterfly. So we just learned butterfly pose, but you don't have to do butterfly pose for this if you don't want to. You could be light and flutter around like a butterfly. Maybe you can move like a butterfly. Maybe you could go up and down and imagine that you're visiting flowers. So move around the room like a butterfly, any way you want. Good. All right. So we'll come on back to our mat or the carpet that we're sitting on, and we're going to read a story together. All right. So next we're going to read a story called Bear Snores On, and it's by Karma Wilson, who was nice enough to let teachers and librarians put her books on the internet. And Max helped me pick out this story because the main character is a bear. So it's by Karma Wilson, and the illustrations are by Jane Chapman. And while we read this story, I'm going to need your help. So we're going to make all kinds of different sounds using our breath. So think about how you can make all of the different sounds in the book using your breath. And we'll do that together. So think about, how could you make a snoring sound? Right? Think about how you could make a growling sound. Grrr. Think about how you could make a roaring sound. Roar. Right? So we're going to do all kinds of different sounds in this book, and I want you to follow along and do all the sounds that you hear. So we'll do that together. So bear snores on. You ready, Max? Bear Snores On by Karma Wilson. In a cave in the woods, in his deep, dark lair, through the long, cold winter, sleeps a great brown bear. Cuddled in a heap with his eyes shut tight, he sleeps through the day and he sleeps through the night. The cold winds howl. Can you make a howling sound? Howl! And the night sounds growl. Can you make a growling sound? Grrr. But the bear snores on. Zzz. An itty-bitty mouse, pitter-pat, tiptoe, creep crawls in the cave from the fluff cold snow. The mouse squeaks, too damp, too dank, too dark. So he lights wee twigs with a small hot spark. Max, would you like it if somebody came into your house and started a fire? The coal pip-pop and the wind doesn't stop, but the bear snores on. Bzzz. Two glowing eyes sneak peek in the den. Mouse cries, "Who's there?" And Hare hops in. "Ho, Mouse," says Hare, "long time no see." So they pop white corn and they brew black tea. Mouse sips wee slurps. Can you slurp? And he burps, big burps. Can you burp? I bet you can. But the bear snores on. Zzz. A badger scuttles by, sniffs, snuffs at the air. "I smell yummy yums. Perhaps can we share?" "I've brought honey nuts," Badger says with a grin. "Let's divvy them up, cozy down, and dig in." And they nibble, and they munch, and they chew, and they chomp. How do you chomp? Right? And they crunch, but the bear snores on. Zzz. A gopher and a mole tunnel up through the floor. Then a wren and a raven flutter through the door. Mole mutters, "What a night! What a storm!" twitters wren, and everybody clutches or clutters in the great bear's den. Max, would you like it if everybody had a party in your house while you were sleeping? They tweet. Can you tweet? Tweet, tweet, tweet. And they twitter. Twitter, twitter, twitter. And they chat and they twitter. But the bear snores on. Zzz. In a cave in the woods, a slumbering bear sleeps through the party in his very own lair. Hare stokes the fire, Mouse seasons stew, then a small pepper flake makes the bear. What do you think is going to happen? What's the pepper going to do to the bear? Achoo! He blows and he sneezes. Can you blow? And the whole crowd freezes. Uh-oh, they got caught. And the bear wakes up. Bear gnarls. Can you gnarl? And snarls. And rumbles. And jumps and stomps, and bear growls and he grumbles. You've snuck in my lair and you've had all fun, but me, I was sleeping and I've had none. And he whimpers. Can you whimper? Mm. And he moans. Mm. And he wails. Ah. And he groans. And the bear blubbers on. Mouth squeaks. Can you squeak? Don't fret, don't fuss. Look, see. When you pop, we can pop more corn. We can brew more tea. Bear gulps, gulp, and gobbles. Gobble, gobble, gobble. And he sighs with delight. Delight is when you're really happy. Can you sigh like you're really happy? Then he spins all the tales through the blustery night. When the sun peeks up on a crisp, clear dawn, Bear can't sleep, but his friends snore on. Zzz. Because they were up partying all night, so they're tired. So that is Bear Snores On by Karma Wilson. Thanks for joining us. I'm so glad that you participated in our online yoga program. Hopefully soon we'll be able to have yoga programs in person. But until then, I hope you stay safe and happy, and we'll see you soon. Bye.